Hello, Sagittarius. Thank you very much for tuning into this week's read. For the main part of the read, I'm using the Gendron Tarot by Melanie Gendron. I hope I'm saying that right. Website usgamesinc.com. This print is 1997, but I'm pretty confident that website's still active. I want to say Ciro Marchetti has some stuff on there too, and he's more recent. Supportive Oracle cards, Tori Hartman. No, Supportive Oracle cards, Chakra Wisdom Oracle cards by Tori Hartman, illustrated by Gretchen Raish Baskin. There's some websites in the back if you're interested, watkinspublishing.co.uk or watkinspublishing.com. Feel free to freeze frame there if you want any of that information, of course. Of course. All right, what do we have for Sagittarius? You had one card fall out. It's face down, but I'm like really wanting to know. I'm like, what is it? Four of Wands. So you're going into something that I feel like there's a contract, though. Sometimes a Four of Wands is a contract. Four of Wands is a contract once in a while, depending on what's going on around it. I'm feeling like a contract, or like a contract. Yeah, sometimes marriage is considered a contract. It is a version of a contract, obviously. Some contract type energy. Are you sure you want it? Do you want this contract? Okay. You got a lot of pentacles here, and by a lot I mean two. By a lot I mean two. There's a pentacle on the other side, though. It's where they're falling. I think it feels pentacle heavy. And the Four of Wands feels like a bond. It's not that like contracts are bad for Sagittarius, but it's when it's so rigid and so constraining that you can't move around. It's kind of like, it reminds me of like sitting in an airplane seat that it's so tight and confined that like for 8 hours you're just like, you feel like you're sitting like a sardine. Like it's maddening. Some people are fine with that. It freaks me out. But when you're overly confined, it feels like that, like overly confined, like, oh my god, I'm gonna be like this for 8 hours. Like I can't. And it's like, it doesn't matter if you can, you're gonna. One of those feelings. Yeah, see, this is another reason. All right, so this is another Earth card, the Hierophant. It is Earth heavy. It does feel Earth heavy. There's technically 4 Earth cards that I'm seeing. I keep thinking there's something else here I'm missing, but let's see what the face down one is. Temperance. Ooh, that's your card. That fell out as we were shuffling. Ooh, that's fun. So we just got to get through the initial startup. I think this is going to work for you. Can we highlight the Temperance card? Get some dice out here. What are we saying with the Temperance card? Like, that's your card. Fell right out. Ace of Water, Ace of Cups, and then the 4 of Major Arcana is the Emperor. That's really good for you too. I feel like this situation freaks you out when it starts because it feels overly confining, and you're like, I need to be able to breathe. I need wiggle room. I don't know about this. I think it freaks you out to start, especially starting with the 4 of Cups. I feel like this is something that in the beginning you're like, I understand the benefit. I understand the long-term benefit. Getting to where I want to be. It's just the trip there. It's like going on vacation, but like the 8-hour plane ride where you're like stuck right in there, like I feel like that's what I'm freaking out about. I feel like it's worth it. I really do. Transition. Oh, that's the Death card. Transition. The Death card. Whatever it is, we just got to get through this phase. It's not that long. It feels like forever. I haven't been on a plane in a long time, but the 8-hour one, I don't think I'll ever forget. It just felt like forever while it was happening. It did. We just gotta get through it. Yeah, because the insecurity is freaking you out. You're acknowledging it. See, that's another thing about this. You are acknowledging it going in, which is setting you up for success because you're like, that's going to drive me nuts. What am I going to do? Earpods. I feel like this is one of those things where you get yourself a good book to listen to on cassette or whatever, or not cassette, yeah, cassette. It shows how old I am. On whatever, download it onto your whatever device. Cassette, yeah. That makes me laugh. I'm like, does anybody even know what a cassette is anymore? I mean, seriously. Um, but maybe that's a hint. Maybe there's something here where you can use something, find yourself an old pattern that you used to do, something, an old way you used to do to amuse yourself. Maybe you're looking back to your childhood and when you were stuck in these positions, what did you do to keep yourself together so you could get through these moments that were boring as all get out, but you got through them. What did you do that? How did you amuse yourself? How did you stay active? If you're really confined, Sagittarius is an active energy, so just sitting there and listening can be a challenge, but maybe would work, possibly. So if you're able to do something with your hands while you're listening, that might work too. Like a fidget, some type of fidget thing. I guess fidget toys, fidget thing, whatever you want to call it. They're saying use your history. You've been in situations like this before, but I feel like if you're looking back to childhood for some reason, you can look back like when this was going on, what did I do or what would I have rather done? What have other people done? Something like that. How can I keep myself together? There's some type of history element for you, kind of like how did I get through these things before, or how have I seen other people get through these things before? Because I just got to get through this 8-hour crazy flight, and if I can do that, it's well worth it. It's definitely well worth it. It's going to pass faster than you know, and it's something that's going to lock in. Because this is great for you. You're in control to make this happen. We just got to get to the other side. Because I see you with the King of Pentacles, which Earth is a difficult connection for fire, usually. But when you take on the Earth element, you use it to your advantage. Kind of like, okay, here are the parameters. Here's what I got to keep. So, for example, finances. X amount has to be over to the side, can't be touched. This over here is play money, or this over here I can use this for. It's kind of like having your home. Certain things have to be dealt with a certain way. I have to keep on the air softener, yeah, the air freshener, air purifier. I have to like set up a schedule to make sure I keep on that. I got to make sure this is done. I mean, if it snows outside, I got to do the driveway, whatever. Got to make sure I pay the bills for the house, blah, blah, blah. There's certain things you set up, like these have to stay a certain way. But the painting of the walls, the fixtures inside the house, what furniture is in the house, where it's positioned, what room I'm in, if I'm going to change what room I live in or my bedroom is in. You have so much ability to change what's inside the structure. It's kind of like maybe the house is staying, but you own the house, but you get to keep changing what's in the house, how it looks, where things are, what room your bedroom is going to be. You may even have the luxury to change like where the bathroom and where the dining room, like you may have like that ability to have the money to move certain things around and restructure it for what works better for you, stuff like that. You have a lot of power once you get there. It's just getting through this portion, and then when you get there, certain things will be very static and not move, but you'll have so much movement within them and around them that you'll be fine. It'll work exactly the way you want. I also get the Prince of Cups with the service. You will have the support of this situation. Okay, you will have the support of this. What is this? I'm going to do some dice on that because something's up. You got support. Once you get to where you need to go to, you do have a lot of support. Is that like nervous support or is that good? Like it's the Prince. Well, it's a Page of Cups. 3 of Water. So yeah, and the 17, which I believe is the Star card. 17 of Major Arcana. I'm just letting it kind of come in. I feel. I'm waiting for more information to come in. You keep things moving. You keep the life in the situation. Once you're in it, once it's yours, I feel a lot more recovery. Recovery? I was going to say control, but I saw recovery and passable. The situation won't flourish unless people let you do what you need to do. You know what needs to stay static. You know what needs to, like, the house needs to be able to function. We're not going to move the roof. We're not going to take off the roof. We're not going to move the outside walls. We're probably not going to move the inside walls. But we might move around what room is where, you know. You might be even really, really outside the box and kind of like, well, I'm going to have the living room on the second floor, and I'm gonna change the downstairs room into like all of the, like, a kitchen area. Like, there's not going to be a living room. We're going to make those just bedrooms and stuff. That, like, you might be that outside the box with it, but if it works for you, who cares? It may seem very strange to other people, but if you decide the living room's on the second floor, then the living room's on the second floor. I've seen people, like, I've seen that happen once, and it was a bigger area. I'm assuming they remodeled it to do it that way, but whatever works, whatever you want to do. It's not saying you have to do that, by the way. It's just saying if you decided to do something that far out of the box, it's like the structure's still the same. Everybody lives in the same house, but it's like the way it's set up may be outside the norm. And you may make a lot of lively changes that people are like, wow, Sag, you have some talent going on there. You have some outside the box thinking that really keeps things alive. Not for nothing, when you find a house where people have the living room on the second floor, it just seems to me you don't forget that. It just seems like it's very memorable too. We just got to get there. Don't talk yourself out of it. The Queen of Swords is your challenge card. Don't talk yourself out of it. Do yourself a favor. Give this a chance. Move into it. Because once you start it, it won't go away. And there's a lot of earth. I keep saying there's a lot of earth, and there's literally only 4 cards. But they're very powerful cards. It's something staying, a lot of work being put into it. Sagittarius is not usually afraid of work. You need to keep busy anyway. But you're having more control than you realize. You're starting off as more of a follower energy, but you're going directly into the leader energy once you get there, because people believe in you, and you keep the life in a situation. Like, if it's going to survive, they have to let you expand and move around like you need to. And I feel like you're going to do a lot of outside-the-box things that are going to actually excite people and make a situation that seems like, well, it can only be so fun. Well, that's until you met Sagittarius. It can be a lot more fun than you ever thought, because Sagittarius has a lot going on. It's very funny, too, to me, because sometimes I have had connections with Sagittarians that don't think of themselves as creative, yet you look at what they've done and you're like, how can you not realize you're creative? Because I think Sagittarians are creative, but they just kind of make things happen, and they just make things happen. It just can be very exciting, very fun when you have a Sagittarius energy around you. And I feel like you're going to be that very fun, lively energy. You're going to bring life into a situation that people didn't realize it could be like that. I had no idea, Sag, until you came into this situation that it could be this good, but it is. It really is. And you might look at it going, yeah, me either, but look at it where it is. You might have that attitude towards it too, like, I didn't either, but wow, look where it is now, like, wow. I feel like, let me know in the comments, do you surprise yourself sometimes? You just get things done, you get to that point, and you're just like, wow, yeah, I did that, wow, yeah, yep, we're going to keep going. Here you go. Anything else? So this is a definitely worthwhile situation. Give it a chance. Once you get through the hard part, I feel like it's totally your ball of wax. It's more than worth it. It's just, don't talk yourself out of it. Don't talk yourself out of it. Be careful. That's all. Anything else? All right. I'm going to shut this down here. I hope that helps. Thank you for watching. If you'd like a direct reading from me, shoot me an email, jamesforastral@gmail.com. That's James the number 4, astral@gmail.com. If you're interested in the donation information, that's below with the same email. Thank you again for watching, and have a great day.